People are so concerned and worried about what other people think and get caught up in doubting themselves around what they can, can't do, what they're capable of, the stage of life that they're at, um, their body's condition, a whole bunch of stuff. Things that I think are just unnecessary in regards to if you're wanting to do something and if you're chasing something that drives you, that excites you, that gets you up out of bed, makes you want to try to be better, makes you want to try and do things to the best of your ability, so on and so forth. So but getting hit with the question, I've been asked this question a few times, but it just seems to have popped up a bit more regularly over the last few weeks, and I don't know why that is. Maybe that's because of, I don't know, the current affairs and state of things in and around the world, or maybe that's because the way things are in people's own neck of the woods, or maybe it's just people that are curious, some that are genuinely interested, and or I think there are a number of people that, you know, have some doubts in terms of what it is that they want to do, what it is that they're capable of, and genuinely likely seeking for answers or an opinion or perspective from others, and surprisingly from time to time. And as I mentioned a bit more frequently, people have been asking me the same sort of questions, similar questions, which probably flow into other responses, and I think they're things that I've answered in other videos, but maybe those that are asking the questions in these recent days and weeks probably, you know, haven't seen all the videos or all the Q&As that I've done over the past, or over the little over a year now since doing this channel. And one of the common questions that's coming up recently is, which is why I titled this video what it is in terms of believing yourself, was in and around how did I know, what drove me, what gave me the strength. You know, a lot of similar, essentially asking the same questions or question, but in a different way, a different variation. How did you not quit during those things? How did you not become, or how did you avoid becoming deflated or depressed, you know, when you didn't get to where you wanted to get to in the New Zealand military side of things? Yeah, whole bunch of stuff in and around that. A number of people recently have jumped on a couple of the lives that are going into their relative basic training courses, one in Australia, one in NZ. And you know what? It's super humbling to get messages from people like that, especially during a live, or at any time, but during a live, because it's not really that common in terms of what I do in my little space, and whereby people, not only feel comfortable to share some of that about their personal journey and what they're up to, but also pay essentially a compliment about the small part that I may have played in either their decision and or helping with their decision and assisting with potentially their drive to go and take action and follow through. So it's really cool, humbling. It's nice to receive those. And although there's not masses of people following my little space, it's enough, you know, and it's awesome and it's fulfilling, and that's what drives me and gives me the excitement to get up each day and try to look after myself as well as I can. All I'm simply doing here is just doing some suitcase carries while I do this video. I was going to do this as part of the warm-up before doing some training, but it may just be the session in and of itself, and then just do some mobility and stretching and cool down isometric stuff after. But anyway, back to these questions. How did you get through selection? How did you find the will to not quit? What was the self-talk like? How did you handle that when, you know, did you start doubting yourself and thinking that you couldn't do this, etc.? for me, again, probably flogging a dead horse here, but I'll answer it because it's a question, like I said, that comes up in just different variations. Basically boiled down to just self-belief. That's it. No magic techniques, no magic mental tools, no magic blinking or complicated mindfulness, mindset, visualization or anything like that. Although there may have been subconsciously, me subconsciously visualizing, where I'd be. And I've made no secret of that. My self-talk to me before I even got on selection and before I even eventually got into the SAS was not if I make it, not can I make it, but when I make it. And I believe anyway, right along, that there's a huge difference in terms of what happens mentally in somebody's mind, in the wiring of the brain. Again, I'm no brain expert. This is just bits and pieces that I see, that I've either read small articles on because I'm not a big reader, or I've seen people talk about certain stuff. And I never knew any of that. I don't know if I'm fully convinced of a lot of the stuff that I see and have, watched and read by people that are much smarter than me. But I see and feel a connection and an understanding to that self-talk around when I get to somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've heard Kyrie Irving. Everybody knows Kyrie Irving is NBA all-star basketball player. And I remember him being interviewed by some of his peers, and when he was young, he spoke to himself, and it was never a case of if he would make it. It was always a case of, and he always said, when I get to the NBA. And I thought, wow, that really resonated with me, because those are the same thoughts I had about the army and making it into the Special Air Service. And although things didn't happen exactly in my timeline or the way that I wanted things to happen, i.e. Complete fully and get badged and serve in the New Zealand SAS, then go to the Australian one, then go to the British one. All those things happened for a reason. They were stepping stones for me to get to where I eventually got to, and have the privilege to serve, which was in the Australian regiment, and then have the privilege to serve. Bloody can feel my grip in my forearms burning now, going there and back. So now I think I'm going to change at the end of each length of the driveway. But coming back, that the need to believe in yourself, because believe it or not, there's going to be a number of people that don't, and there'll be a number of people that will make it known that they don't, and there'll also be a number of people that may very well be in your corner, may very well want you to succeed. But I don't believe, I don't think that that you should be relying on that, or that people should be relying on that. I mean, at the end of the day, I do like the saying, nobody's coming for you, nobody's coming to help. You need to back yourself, believe in yourself, and go chase those things that you want to do. And so I realise it's probably a bit repetitive in terms of what I'm talking about in response to the questions that come through, the different variations of the question, but I would take that and apply that to the same situation over and over again, regardless of whatever it was that I chose to do. And so examples of that, to try to put into context, is the me doing social media, doing YouTube. The only one that's coming for me, and the only one that can do what needs to be done as far as my channel, as far as my little channel goes in my space, is me. Nobody else. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people that could help out if I had the means to pay them, or maybe there might be people that want to voluntarily help out, and there have been. people that have voluntarily helped out, like the gentleman that sent me this Insta360 and the stick and the microphone. Oh, sorry, not the selfie stick, but the microphone that comes with it, and lens covers and stuff to protect it. So the lad down in the South Island who sent me, and I've still got it, who sent me his gimbal for my phone so that it could stabilize things when I was using the phone on some of the stuff that I was doing. So, you know, there are people out there that can help, that are willing to help, and that genuinely want to see you succeed in whatever it is that you do. And or possibly it's because they, you know, just resonate with what it is that you do, or they find value in what it is that you're doing or trying to do. And that's super humbling. It brings with it its own level of responsibility and accountability, but again, that's for me to do. So at the same time that there are people who, like I said, likely do want to see you succeed and are supportive and will find ways to support in their own ways, i.e. those that are kind enough to do a paid membership, those who just simply subscribe, those who just give a video a like, those who take time to comment, like the list goes on, right, in terms of supporters. Equally though, like I mentioned, as nice and as humbling and as kind as that is, it's up to me to do the work. It's not up to them, as it should be. And so if I was to all of a sudden just stop, you know, I can do that, right? But if you enjoy doing what you're doing, and even if you don't enjoy it, like you might not know that you enjoy it yet, but if you commit to doing what it is that you're doing and you find joy in the process, happiness in the process, and or if you're lucky enough like me, you happen to find that you do enjoy doing content and stuff on YouTube and just going about your normal daily routine or daily life, and you, in this case, open yourself up to putting some of that on social media, and trying to be as, you know, transparent and as authentic and honest as you can with it, then I think that's a good thing. But like me, I didn't know that I would love the job in these days. I had no idea that that would be a job that I would come to love. I had an idea, a thought that, man, I think I'm going to love this job, you know, and I had some confirmations along the way by being an infantry soldier. But I guess until, like anything, until you're actually doing it, or doing the thing that you decided to do and go for, you probably don't fully know or truly understand if it is something that you want to do or that you like. So I was fortunate that I figured that out, discovered that in my time in the military. It's great. And where I'm at now and what I'm doing now, I apply the same sort of thing. Like, just so happens though that, like I said, I discovered that I'm enjoying this stuff before I even got right into it, or before I even got over a year into what I'm doing now, which is where I'm at. March 2025 is when I started this channel. Before then, I got some runs on the board and some practice on social media through running the Epic Odds Outdoor podcast, Create a Better Future, with my brother-in-law. So lots of little things, and then, you know, prior to that, it's been a whole bunch of other life experiences post time in the Defence Force, post time in the regiment, etc. And all of those things add up for each of us. Hence why recently a couple of the lives that I did around reintegration, obviously there's a handful of people that watch and or have consumed quite a bit of my content and that drove and driven people to send through a bunch of questions. Now, as I spoke about with regards to believing in yourself and people, some people genuinely want to help. The flip side to that coin is that there are definitely people who would love nothing more than to see you fail, than to see you quit, than to see you try and just fail miserably. Like, regardless of whether you believe that or not, there are those people. And that's their own issue. The difficult part, I think, sometimes for people is whereby they allow those negative thoughts and negative comments, because they come, and if they haven't, they will. They allow them to come and consume them and occupy bandwidth and space in their head. In my opinion, unnecessarily. Don't get me wrong, it can be hard sometimes for people and for myself too. If you're doing something that you really enjoy, you feel like, say for example, you feel like you're doing something that is going to benefit and help other people, and people come along and then they want to tear it down or whatever, or share their opinion which is completely opposite to yours. They start ripping apart what it is that you've done, and then they just bugger off. These I call them the naysayers, the nameless, faceless naysayers. Man, if you struggle with that, when people look to bring you down or look to doubt you or look to just try to grind your gears and get on your goat, or whatever the term is that you want to think of and use, if you can't handle that, then maybe doing stuff on social media and being not a figure but having a presence on social media, maybe that's not for you. Maybe you need to be like those nameless, faceless naysayers, the keyboard warriors, and give yourself a made up handle and then go around and do what they're doing to other people. If you're wired that way, and or if you feel like you can't cope with the negativity, because understanding that the negativity is going to come, you can't avoid that. You can put measures in place like blocking certain comments, 100%. You can control, which is probably another good point, you can control, by and large, your environment and what you allow in and what you choose to keep out. So that may be another option. If you don't like negative comments, if you can't handle people saying negative things, they're just words at the end of the day. Some people might take the time to write a really beautiful, well-constructed, well-articulated, and maybe it makes a lot of sense comment, albeit derogatory or whatever. And if you don't like that or can't handle it, then maybe instead of just not doing it, maybe block that sort of content. Maybe have a filter so that you can screen all comments first before you allow them onto your social media, whatever platform that is. Or, like I said, you just bloody believe in yourself. Don't give a rat's backside about anybody else. Do you, what makes you happy, and or find what makes you happy, and then just do that one thing, or do those things if you are extra talented and you enjoy doing a whole bunch of different things. Then do what makes you happy, what you feel like you can believe in yourself in, and that will drive you towards success and getting after what it is that you want to do. So, at the risk of just saying believe in yourself is the answer. That, as simplistic as simplistic as that sounds, and repetitive, I think for me anyway, it warrants saying and repeating. No doubt this question or a variation of a similar question will come up again, and maybe more specifically towards the military and selection, which is what a number of these recent questions have been in regards to. Questions on how did you find the strength to carry on when you almost went to jail and didn't get to, potentially your whole military career would have been over and you didn't get badged in NZ, etc. Like, I've been asked that question a fair bit, but I got asked that question recently in a live. Somebody typed similar question to that, or words to that effect in the live. Yeah, really made me think on the spot. The way that it was constructed, I can't remember exactly how it was, but I was like, oh wow, I don't think I've been asked that specific question before, but I have been asked, I guess, variations of it, to do with why didn't you just go back to NZ, like you're giving up a heck of a lot, sacrificed a lot to get to where you got to, they didn't close the door on you, why didn't you just go back, etc. So again, I believed in myself and in my ability. Yeah, I felt hurt by stuff which I've done in other videos, so I won't get into that, but the consistent theme and how things have worked out and continue to go for me is an unwavering self-belief, and I think that trumps anything else personally. As I walk up and down this driveway doing a basic little suitcase carry just with this 24 kilo kettlebell, you believe in yourself and you're prepared to put in the work and suffer and struggle and deal with, some might call it the toxic people or toxicity of others, and you're willing to open yourself up to that type of stuff and still just crack on and move forward, then I think you're in a good space. So take from this video what you will, what you like, delete or data dump what you don't like. Feel free to comment, share your experiences, but have that unwavering belief in yourself and go chase what it is that you're after. In closing, what I'd share is this, and this is in relation to I'm not the be all and end all by any means, but in terms of looking to try to lead by example, or for in your own situation wherever you are, or for me in my situation or what I'm doing here in my little space on YouTube, and delving into other social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Kick and Twitch. Believe in what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it. That's cool, that's key, and enjoy it, and the rest will take care of itself. I guarantee it. There will be all the negativity will come up. There'll be no comments, there'll be no viewers, there'll be no followers, and that doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you're enjoying what you're doing and you've got that unwavering self-belief that you're going to make a go of this and give it a real go, then crack on. You know, on my YouTube channel, I think there's close to 1,000 videos on there, like close to 1,000 videos on the channel. That is, to me, that's a crazy amount of videos to be doing or to have done. And I look back at some of them and I see the cringe nature of the vast majority. I'd say probably more than 50%, probably 70-80% of my videos. There might be the odd good one here and there, but for every half decent one there's like 100 ugly ones or 100 terrible ones. And you know what, that's okay. Like, I know I've slowly gotten better and better as time has gone on, become more confident in terms of speaking to a camera or in front of a camera at the end of a selfie stick, like is the case in this situation, or sitting and talking to the screen. I feel like I'm better able to gather my thoughts in response to questions as they happen in a live or when they get sent via messages or emails, and I have the willingness to lean into things that people might think I might find too uncomfortable, i.e. war crime allegation stuff in relation to, you know, one of my mates in RS, somebody who I consider a mate, somebody who I support, somebody who I think the military, the media and pockets of the general public around the place in Australia and in other parts of the world, I feel like have judged him and made their opinions up before any conviction has been made, before any prosecution and or the presentation of evidence has been confirmed, verified and found to be true beyond any reasonable doubt. And that hasn't happened yet. It's taken over a decade to get to where they are now for 2 charges. So all of that stuff, the haters, the negativity, the supporters, but more importantly, your unwavering belief in yourself, what you're doing, why you're doing it, all those things, and the fact that if it makes you happy, gets you up out of bed each day, excites you, drives you, motivates you, whatever, then do that. That's it. That's my take. That's the my response to that question, and hence that's the title of this video. Believe in yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and get after whatever it is you're looking to do. I'm going to carry on doing this for a little bit more, just walking up and down the driveway with this kettlebell. Put the camera down because I don't need this camera down in my hand. Maybe place it on the little tripod and just carry on until the next video. See you on the next one. It'll probably be on a live today. Take this off here.